Hello, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Well, quite a surprise as the markets emerge from a holiday weekend here. We saw that Bitcoin had taken a pretty big hit recently and is now starting to recover. And gold, as well, is touching on a 3-week high. And most predicted, that during Christmas and through the end of the year, that would see a pretty sizable dip, and that hasn't happened. But we'll kind of explore a little bit on both of those fronts here. Bitcoin could hit $60,000 in 2018, but another crash is coming, says some startup exec. Cryptocurrency entrepreneur Julian Hosp sees a very, very healthy chance to buy while the price is lower. And he says no crypto winter is coming right now, Haas predicts, but the market could see consolidation in coins in a year or two out. That's interesting. And he says he thinks that we're going to see Bitcoin hitting $60,000, but I also think we're going to see Bitcoin hitting the $5,000 mark. Says Haas, co-founder and president of 10X, a firm that wants to make it easier for people to spend virtual currencies. The question is tough. Which one is going to hit first? Numerous high-profile critics and several national governments have warned of the dangers of investing in cryptocurrencies, which they say are likely to crash because nothing underpins their value. And actually, I'm in that camp. I'm with those critics. Haas forecast would represent a $45,000 rally from the current price of Bitcoin, or a $10,000 collapse, underscoring the volatility of the world's largest cryptocurrency. It's an extremely volatile asset. After rallying to a record high of 19,800 midway through December, Bitcoin prices collapsed last Friday. The digital currency lost over a third of its value in a single day, briefly sinking below the $11,000 level before regaining some of the ground it's lost. Now it's trading at around $15,000 on Tuesday, according to Coinbase. For experts who have been in the market, this was actually a welcome dip. He said that insiders had expected the price of Bitcoin to fall, given the dangerous elevation of value that it has seen over the past few months. The dip for us was very, very healthy, and some of us have used it to buy a little bit more because suddenly we lost 40 to 45% discount to all-time highs. Hosp said that he's certain that Bitcoin will fall again. Definitely, he said. I don't think right now, but I think in the long run, we will always see a little bit of an up move and then a dip down. He said winter is coming eventually. The current interest in Bitcoin and to the dot-com bubble that started about 20 years ago and warned that a consolidation of digital coins is likely to take place in the future. I don't think crypto winter is going to come in the next couple of months, but I think if we look down 1 or 2 years, there's definitely going to be a big compression in the market. I don't think it's going to be a bubble that's just going to burst and everyone is going to lose their money, but I think it's going to be that all the coins and all the assets with very little use or value are going to get sorted out. The money is going to flow into those assets in this cryptocurrency space and really deliver value, have new technology that are being used by people. 10X charges fees for a wallet and a card that are designed to make digital currencies more usable for transactions. Haas didn't share his thoughts on which cryptocurrency has the most longevity, but he did say that the compression of the market will reduce their numbers. I see Bitcoin more as digital gold rather than a currency that is going to be used on a daily basis. And, there's aspects of this article that are quite telling. For sure. But before we comment on that, let's take a look at gold. Because here, from Reuters, gold touches over a 3-week high. Palladium hits 17-year peak. Gold prices edged up on Tuesday to more than 3-week high in a post-holiday trade on geopolitical concerns, and palladium hit its highest since February 2001 on supply worries. Precious metals markets reopened after being closed on Monday for the Christmas holiday. Spot gold was up 4.44% and to 1280.43 per ounce, and silver's going up as well too in the mix of all this. Geopolitical tensions and early weakness in the dollar underpin gold, said George Giro, manager director of RBC Wealth Management in New York. The dollar index, which tracks the greenback against a basket of 6 major rivals, reversed losses after providing earlier support. A weaker greenback makes gold less expensive to holders of other currencies. Because gold is somewhat underowned, traders are taking a second look to see if we can get over $1,300 area. Tension has been rising over North Korea's nuclear missile programs, which it pursues in defiance of years of UN Security Council resolutions, with a bellicose rhetoric coming from both Pyongyang and the White House. And I apologize that the text is being cut off here by the screen capture. While North Korea's Constitution Day holiday on Wednesday, there may also be an element of risk hedging in play for regional markets at the moment, said Jeffrey Haley, senior market analyst at Oanda. Last week, gold gained for second straight week and closed above its 200-day moving average, a key technical indicator. U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission on Friday reported that hedge funds and money managers had increased their net long stance in gold in the week of December 19th. Spot palladium was up 0.79% and 1,044.72. It's actually higher than that now, touching at its highest level since February 2001 at 1,046.70. Strong demand from auto catalyst makers reinforce the prospect of market shortages. Analysts expect that 80% of global palladium demand will come from auto catalysts for gasoline-powered cars, which many consumers now prefer over diesel-fueled vehicles because diesel is very expensive. There's some worries about supply. Spot silver was up 0.67% at 1647 per ounce. Spot platinum was down 0.03% at 913.74. I think we may continue to see that war between palladium and platinum. As this price spreads out, you may see more platinum mining and supply enter the market between those two metals, because platinum is used as catalytic converters as well. I think both metals will probably continue to go up as the economy continues to improve around the world. We'll see what happens, but very interesting indeed. I think the difference between these two worlds, we thought that the precious metals were going to go down through the end of the year. They've actually taken a little bit of an upward trajectory moving into 2018 for a myriad of reasons. But what I think is fascinating with Bitcoin, and going back to kind of what this article was talking about earlier here, I think this person, this entrepreneur, Julian Hosp, is actually obviously has interest in Bitcoin or any cryptocurrencies doing well, considering it's his business. And so obviously it's in his best interest that the price of it go up. And I'm not, obviously people say, well, yeah, it's obvious, people that they want to pump their cryptos, they want to get people into them because they're in the business. Same thing with precious metals. Mike Maloney is one example of someone who sells gold and silver. So, it's obvious that they're going to try to give you information that makes you think that gold and silver are going to rise. But what's really interesting in this is that just because they predict these things and where they are in the industry does not necessarily make them wrong. It may not make them right, and we understand their motivation behind such a prediction. But nonetheless, I think there's some truth into this. I think there will be a compression and a consolidation, just like there was with the dot-com bubble. There is no doubt that some sort of technology, and it may not be the blockchain technology, because as we know, the blockchain technology is really kind of crude, and it's very inefficient in its processes. Bitcoin could not, I don't think, in the way it is now, at least in the main Bitcoin. Maybe some of these forks, there is some underlying differences in how they're transacted. But the one that's the top of the game right now, Bitcoin, with its blockchain technology and its soft forks, and the reason why there's these hard forks is because of the inefficiencies of the blockchain technology rendering it pretty much useless as a currency, which is why it was founded in the beginning, in the first place. It is more of a commodity where you have this hyperbolic bubble that I believe will burst eventually. And so I don't know that I agree with this forecast. Anybody can just throw a number out there. I've heard $100,000. I've heard $25,000. Who knows? When it keeps going up, people make bolder and bolder predictions as this is just the beginning. And where will it go? Now, did I ever think that it would get to almost $20,000? No. As I mentioned in a prior video, I almost put $100 in when it was $6,000. Hindsight is 20/20, but you know, it's one of those things where the higher it goes, the less likely it is to go higher, and the more likely chance that it is just another bubble. But this is actually the biggest bubble in world history. And so what will happen and what will become of the cryptocurrency phenomenon? Well, I think it will even out. That's where I do agree with his prediction here, that it's going to eventually probably level out into some sort of consolidation or compression, and which is kind of what I had predicted early on when I first started talking about the cryptocurrencies, whereas Bitcoin will become the new MySpace, the MySpaceification of the cryptos, and there'll be a better one that will come along that will actually be used as a currency, and that people can use. Now, will that be based off of blockchain? Probably not. They'll probably find some other new technology. It has been mentioned. There's videos about it on YouTube about Hashgraph, but you know that may not even be the final thing. You know, it's really going through some growing pains right now. But no matter what happens, no matter what the final product will be, worldwide acceptance of a new kind of a crypto technology. We thought blockchain would be the foundation for it, but looks like there's chinks in that armor now. But whatever the final thing will be, it will never replace gold or silver or precious metals. And that is the point of this video, that through the holiday weekend, we've seen gold and silver maintain, hang in there, hanging tough through all this. And I believe they will for centuries to come. They've survived 5,000 years thus far. They will continue to survive. So post your thoughts below as we recover from the holiday weekend here. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas, and moving into New Year's, we shall see what comes for us in 2018. I'd like to extend the multitude of gratitude y'all for watching and encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.